The scariest thing for anyone is waking up each day and realizing there's no one and nothing in life to look forward to or strive for. Humans don't exist merely to breathe, eat, or live day by day. We exist because of hope, love, and aspirations waiting to be reached. It's those things that give life meaning, that give us a reason to keep moving forward, even when today is exhausting or tomorrow is full of challenges. A life without something to look forward to is like a boat drifting aimlessly on a vast sea. No shore, no compass, only endless emptiness. So, keep at least a small flame alive in your heart, be it a simple dream, a loved one, or just the desire to become a better version of yourself. Because as long as there's something to hope for, someone to love, life will always be worth striving for. As long as distance and time stretch far enough, even the closest of bonds can turn into strangers. A relationship is like a fire. If not fueled by presence, kind words, or small acts of care, it will slowly fade away. And when the fire dies, the warmth of yesterday becomes nothing but cold ashes. Some people were once an entire sky in our memories, but with time and distance, they become just a passing name, a stranger's face in the crowd. That's the harsh but honest rule of life. So, if you cherish someone, don't let distance sow silence between you, because sometimes distance doesn't kill feelings outright, but it quietly turns the familiar into the unfamiliar before you even notice. People cry, but it doesn't always mean they're sad. I smile, but it doesn't always mean I'm happy. Tears aren't always a sign of sorrow. Sometimes they're the heart's way of finding relief, like rain falling to cleanse the soul. People cry because they're moved, because they're happy, or simply because their heart is too full and needs an outlet. Likewise, a smile doesn't always mean joy. Some smiles are painted on to hide wounds, to comfort others, or to give oneself strength to carry on. Behind that cheerful facade, there are often silent voids that can't be shared. Life is layered and complex. You can't assume someone is suffering just because they cry, nor believe they're happy just because they smile. What we need is understanding a deeper look into the heart, a listening ear with true empathy, because sometimes a smile is the most beautiful mask, and tears are the truest language of the soul. When I'm tired or sad, I just want to go somewhere far away, somewhere unfamiliar, with no destination, no return date, no destination, no itinerary, no return date, just free steps under a vast sky. Because sometimes happiness isn't about where you go, but about letting go of burdens and listening to yourself in the stillness. Everyone needs such a hideaway to heal the scratches in their soul, to sort through chaos, and to return stronger and steadier. Because going far isn't about escaping, but about finding a peaceful version of yourself deep within. Not every wound bleeds, and not every pain leaves a visible mark. It's easy to notice a scratch on the skin, but the shadows in the soul are often overlooked. And it's those silent wounds that make us feel the most exhausted, the most alone, because not everyone is perceptive enough to understand. So, don't be quick to laugh when someone is silent, or assume they're strong just because they don't cry, because sometimes the deepest pain lies where no one can see, and true courage is smiling while the heart bleeds. There are pains in life that only we ourselves know. There are pains that can't be named, can't be shared, because only we can feel their full sting. They are the long, sleepless nights, the quiet moments of swallowing grief, the tears that fall in silence, unseen by anyone. Sometimes, it's not that we don't want to speak, but that words can't capture it, and no listener could truly understand. So, those pains become private secrets, like scars buried deep in the soul, touched only by us. But it's from those silent pains that we learn to be stronger, to grow, and to cherish happiness more deeply. Because having walked through darkness alone, we truly understand the value of light. Thus, some pains don't need to be known by others, as long as we have the courage to move past them and the gentleness to embrace ourselves. The path of life is vast and wide, but it doesn't mean we all walk the same road. Some choose a smooth, peaceful path. Others tread a rugged, challenging one. There are stretches where we walk side by side, sharing joys and sorrows, but there are also turns where we must part to follow our own journeys. What matters isn't whether we walk together forever, but that in the moments we shared, we left footprints of love and beautiful memories. Because in the end, we all must find the path that suits us, and it's those differences that paint the vibrant colors of life. So don't be sad if we can't walk the same road. Be grateful for having met at life's crossroads. When you lose something, it's gone forever, and you can never retrieve it. So cherish what's in front of you, the gifts life has given. Life is like a river. What has passed will never return. When we lose something, an opportunity, a relationship, a loved one, no amount of regret can bring it back as it was. Time doesn't allow us to rewind, nor does it return what's been lost. So true happiness lies not in what's gone or yet to come, but in the present moment, in the simple things we have now. A hug, a sincere word, a warm smile. These are priceless gifts from life, waiting for us to cherish. Don't wait until it's gone to feel regret. Learn to treasure the smallest things today, for they might be what you long for your whole life. Because living fully in the present is the way to be grateful for life and to hold on to what's most precious. Humans are like grass and trees, growing and flourishing, but in the end, all return to the earth. The only difference is that humans have emotions and store memories. Grass blooms, withers, and returns to the soil, but humans, in their fleeting years, know love, sorrow, hope, and longing. It's those emotions that make the journey of life meaningful, and memories happy or sad that make us unique in the flow of existence. Life is no longer than the fall of a leaf, but through emotions, it becomes radiant, and through memories, it transcends the limits of time, letting us live on in others' hearts even after we return to the earth. So, living isn't just about existing. It's about feeling, loving, and leaving memories worth remembering. When young, our weakness is making mistakes easily, but in return, we have boundless vitality. We recover quickly and rise again. Youth is like a gust of wind, brimming with vigor and passion. The greatest weakness of youth is its inexperience, impulsiveness, and tendency to err in choices, in living and in loving. But that's also an essential part of the journey to maturity. The most precious thing about youth isn't perfection, but the strength to stand up after every fall. Youth has a resilient heart, a steadfast spirit, and a fierce belief that with effort, tomorrow can be different. Mistakes, then, are not failures, but lessons that make us wiser, stronger. Life is like a book. In youth, we're allowed to write poorly, to cross out, and to start again. And it's the courage to overcome mistakes that shapes our true strength. So, youth isn't frightening because of mistakes. What's truly frightening is not daring to try, not daring to rise after falling. No matter how wealthy you are, You can't fill the voids in your soul. Money can buy many things, a luxurious house, lavish feasts, or comfortable travels. But there's one thing even the richest can't buy: peace in the soul. The emptiness in the heart can't be filled with gold or riches. It can only be warmed by love, empathy, and genuine connections. Because true happiness doesn't come from how much we own, but from how fulfilled we feel inside. Some people are wealthy but still lonely, lacking a shoulder to lean on. Others may have little materially, but are rich in love, in sharing, and live happier than anyone. So, remember, wealth adorns life, but only the soul decides whether your life is happy. Time is the precious gift life grants us. It can sweep everything into oblivion. Pain eventually softens, wounds heal, and memories we thought unforgettable fade with the years. Time offers chances to grow, to let go, to see things with calmer eyes, but it also gently carries everything into forgetfulness, joys and sorrows, successes and failures. So, living in the flow of time, it's not about clinging, but about cherishing each moment so we don't regret having lived fully. In life, no one is purely good or righteous. When you're a hero to one nation, you're also the enemy of another. Life is multifaceted, and no one is seen through a single lens. No one is entirely good or entirely bad, for that line is always blurred, shifting with perspective and circumstance. A person hailed as a hero in one place may be a foe in another. When you're a light shining for one side, you're also a shadow opposing the other. That's the nature of relativity in life and in how people judge one another. So, instead of craving universal love or recognition, live so you have no shame before your heart, your beliefs, and your values. Because in the end, it's not about being a hero or a villain in others' eyes, but about living true to yourself. Simplicity brings happiness. A simple life is true living. Life doesn't need to be elaborate or complex. Happiness often lies in the simplest things: a warm meal, a genuine smile, an afternoon watching clouds drift by. The older we get, the more we realize that material wealth or outward glamour doesn't guarantee peace. On the contrary, simplicity, a pure heart, a modest life brings lightness and serenity. Simplicity doesn't mean lack. It means knowing what's enough. When the heart is content with the present, happiness blooms like a flower in the sun. Thus, true happiness isn't about how much you have, but about how simply you live. Your happiness must be seized and protected by you alone. Happiness is yours to grasp and guard. No one knows what your heart needs better than you, and no one can protect your joy if you don't have the strength to do it yourself. Sometimes, in life's storms, we easily place our trust and joy in others' hands. But when they leave, we realize happiness isn't found outside, but in how we value and hold on to what we have. So, don't entrust your happiness to others. Learn to master your heart, your joy, and live a life where every day is worth smiling for. Your happiness, only you have the right to protect it. To succeed, you must face many failures. On life's path, folly leads to wisdom. Failures, though bitter, are the steps that bring us closer to success. On life's journey, how can we grasp wisdom's value without ever being foolish? Each act of folly is a lesson. Each fall is a step toward growth. As long as we don't give up, failure becomes a great teacher, forging a stronger, more resilient person. So, don't fear mistakes or failures. The greatest fear is not daring to try, not daring to move, and missing the chance for success. Life is full of suffering. Hating someone only adds to your pain. Holding on to hatred is like placing a heavy stone on your own heart. Hating someone doesn't hurt them as much as it imprisons you in resentment, making each day heavier and more tiring. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing mistakes. It means choosing peace for yourself. When you let go of hatred, you open a path for your soul to be free, for love and joy to return. Life is too short. Spend it on sharing and happiness, because hatred only deepens wounds, while love truly heals all. Life is full of things that don't go as planned. We can't avoid them. The only thing we can do is change how we see them. Life isn't always rosy. There will be failures, hurts, and things beyond our control. Avoiding them doesn't make them disappear. It only exhausts us more. The wisest thing isn't to run away, but to learn to shift our perspective. When we see a challenge as a chance to grow, or sadness as a pause to appreciate happiness, the unwanted things become silent, teachers making us stronger. So, happiness doesn't come from everything going smoothly, but from seeing life with a positive heart. Life only feels light when we change our own perspective. Family is the best place to return to when you stumble. Home is also the most peaceful place to seek when life feels weary. There, you'll always find sharing, filled with unconditional love. Family is a sacred anchor that no place can replace. When life outside batters you with failures, when exhaustion weighs down your heart, family is the haven to return to be embraced and healed. Home isn't just four walls. It's a place of genuine sharing, open arms without reason, and boundless, unconditional love. There, you don't need to pretend or be strong, because being yourself is enough to be loved. So, no matter how far life takes you, remember that family is the most peaceful harbor, where your heart is warmed and love never runs dry. Everything in this world is a test, except for family, so don't be too sad. Mistakes can be fixed. Broken things can be let go. In life's journey, everything we encounter, work, money, relationships, is a kind of test. Failures can be redone, mistakes can be corrected, and even when one door closes, there's still a chance to find another. Only family is not a test, because it's the one place that loves you unconditionally, without reason, and never changes. Family is an eternal anchor, a place to fall and always be lifted up. So, don't be too sad about life's stumbles. See them as necessary lessons, because as long as you have family, you have a place to return to, a haven nothing can replace. Mistakes can be fixed, broken things can be let go, but family is the one thing you must never lose. Perhaps only when night falls, with a bed, a warm blanket, and a beautiful dream, can we find solace for a life where each day brings so many things that don't go as planned. The day passes with pressures, worries, and things that don't go right, leaving the soul weary. But when night falls, life seems to soften. Just a familiar bed, a warm blanket, and a gentle dream are enough to soothe the hurts gathered through the day. Night is a pause to breathe slowly, to let go of burdens, to find that after all, you can still grasp simple peace. Perhaps it's those small things, a good sleep, a beautiful dream, that are the balm to give us strength for a new day. Because sometimes, happiness isn't in grand things, but in the quiet peace of resting in the arms of night. When young, we don't know, thinking that even a small hurt would be unbearable. After weathering life's storms, we learn that in the long years of a human life, nothing is unforgivable. Nothing is impossible to let go. Youth is fragile, easily broken. A small hurt feels like the whole world collapsing. Back then, we lacked the experience to see that pains and scratches in the soul are just a small part of life's long journey. As years pass, life's ups and downs force us to grow stronger. Looking back, we realize no pain is too deep to heal, no wound too great to mend. Time teaches us to forgive, to let go, to move forward without carrying resentment. Those experiences shape our maturity, and one day, we see that the most precious thing isn't holding on to pain, but letting go to live more peacefully. Treat yourself well, for life passes in the blink of an eye. Love those who love you, for in the next life, you may not meet again. Life is fleeting, passing like a blink. If you don't treat yourself well, don't cherish the days you live, youth, health, and joy will slip away unnoticed. Happiness isn't far off. It's in caring for and loving yourself each day. And even more important, cherish and love those who love you. For life is finite, and in the next life, you may not cross paths again. Don't let carelessness or hesitation leave you with regrets when love is no longer there. Treat yourself well to live with ease. Love those beside you to never have regrets. If it's not yours, don't try to hold on to it. Clinging only leads to losing what could have been yours. In life, we sometimes think holding tight brings happiness, but the more we cling, the more exhausted we become, and sometimes we lose chances that were truly meant for us. What isn't yours, no matter how tightly you grasp, will slip through your fingers sooner or later. Letting go isn't defeat. It's opening your heart to receive what truly belongs to you. So, learn to be calm. Don't cling to what's not yours, for true happiness comes not from forcing, but from natural sincerity. It takes 100 years of fate to share a boat, 1,000 years to share a bed. Meeting someone in the vast sea of people is surely a matter of fate. Life is ever-changing. Things shift in this bustling world, and when people and things are no more, it leaves us with a heavy heart. The Buddha taught, always smile at life, without complaints. Live freely, follow your heart, go with the flow, and let everything happen as it's meant to. Yet life is impermanent. Things change, and even the grandest moments are but fleeting. When someone is still here, we may not cherish them, and when they're gone, we're left with endless longing. This is a reminder to live fully in the present, to love and cherish, for everything can vanish at any moment. The Buddha taught, always smile at life, without complaints. Live freely, follow your heart, go with the flow, and let everything happen as it's meant to. That serene attitude is the key to navigating change, to keeping the heart light, and to letting happiness come naturally. Because in the end, what matters most isn't how much you hold on to, but how you live amidst life's meetings and partings. Some things in life only happen once, and once missed. They can never be reclaimed. Life is fleeting, and every moment that passes is unique. Some things happen only once, and if we let them slip by, we can never turn back to retrieve them. It could be an opportunity, an unspoken word of love, or someone by your side you didn't cherish. Time never waits. When you look back, all that's left is emptiness and endless regret. So, live fully in the moment. Cherish every second, every person who crosses your path, because sometimes what haunts us most isn't loss, but what we missed. Pain isn't frightening, What's frightening is being in the deepest suffering with no one by your side. In life, everyone will face pain, for it's an inevitable part of being human. But physical or emotional pain isn't the worst thing. What makes the heart tremble is falling with no hand to hold, despairing with no shoulder to lean on, because humans are born to connect, to share. Having someone by your side in pain, just a hug, an understanding look, can give you the strength to weather any storm. But being alone in your pain is the greatest tragedy. Pain isn't frightening. What's truly frightening is needing a lifeline and finding no one there. Only with effort comes hope. If you dare not act, your life will be filled only with regret. Life never hands success to those who stand still. Only by daring to move, to challenge, to strive, can we touch hope. Every drop of sweat, every stumble, is a brick paving the path to your dreams. But if fear holds you back from starting, if you hesitate and miss your chance, all that remains is regret and remorse. Time won't turn back to give you a second chance. Act today, for only effort plants the seeds of hope, and only action leads to success. Humans are always greedy, always wanting everything perfect, but in reality, how could that be? When you gain something, you naturally lose something else. Because energy is constant, when you start to gain, you also start to lose. As simple as that. But people often don't grasp this, struggling in vain. From time immemorial, humans have carried greed, always craving to have it all, perfectly complete. But life never grants perfection in every way. When you gain one thing, you must trade another. That's the law of balance, like the flow of energy in the universe. To gain is to begin losing, yet most of us refuse to accept it. We struggle, we try to hold everything, only to find more pain in the fight. True wisdom lies in staying calm before gains and losses, understanding that all is a trade-off. Happiness isn't in grasping everything, but in knowing enough and cherishing what you have. There are many things you can hold in your heart, but can't speak aloud, and those things that can't be spoken will never be forgotten. Deep in every heart, there are stories that can't be put into words. They might be an unfinished love, a painful memory, or an unfulfilled regret. We keep them in our hearts, quiet like a secret, wanting to forget, but unable to erase. The paradox is, the less you can speak of them, the less you can forget them. For words can release, but silence lets feelings sink deep, etched forever in memory. So, some things we must learn to live with, not expecting time to erase them completely. Some stories are only for remembering, not for telling. Some pains are only for keeping, not for sharing. And that silence, sometimes, is the deepest mark in the soul.